What is up? And welcome to the final show before we are 48 hours right now before the NFL draft. And I am so excited. Tyler, I can see it in your face. You are super duper excited right now. You ready?
Well, I couldn't be more ready. It's finally almost here. It's time for the draft. I think we've all been waiting. Nobody likes waiting. Everybody just wants the draft to be here. So, yeah, I think everyone's excited, right?
It's time to rock and roll. I can tell in my leagues, like, people are getting excited about the NFL draft. I'm starting to get more trade offers than I was normally getting. I'm starting to get activity in the chats, some responses from people. Like, I think we are here. It is time. And very soon we are going to hear this sound. It's coming. We're going to get it, Tyler.
Apparently we're not.
And what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to call your shot. So obviously we're here to answer questions. It's Ask DLF. I am at Calvin and Hobby right here. As you can see, follow me on Twitter. Make sure you do that. He is Tyler, the fantasy football creator, at Tyler FF Creator. You can make sure that you are following him, which everybody already is anyway, but make sure you're doing that. We are going to be answering live questions for the next hour and a half. We're going to try and get to as many as we possibly can. And I also want to ask you to give me your hot take. Call your shot. 2022 NFL draft. What is going to happen?
Can we come up with anything original? We can't call your shot. It is my thing. And an hour ago, I just posted people asking for their hot takes. So it's like,
well, it is. You're on the show, aren't you? That's exactly where it came from.
That's true. I guess we can just, go with whatever I did. I suppose that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, we're stealing from this guy Tyler, who's on Twitter.
No, people on Twitter always take my ideas, but that's okay. I always see the big accounts do it. Fantasy Pros and the other websites, they'd steal my threads. I'm fine with them stealing it, but I just I appreciate they see that it works. They see that it works and it drives engagement.
There we go. Right down there. 2022 NFL draft hot takes. We are ready for it. We are going to start off right now. Get right into it. BJ Lee says happy Taco Tuesday. That's right. We call it Taco Tuesday because it's Tyler and Cal on Tuesdays. Taco Tuesday. Najee Harris or Breece Hall if he goes to the Bills. Tyler, what do you think?
Oh, that is a very, very good question. I also put the link to the original. There's the original hot takes thread. If you click on that, it'll take you there. But all my call and shot threads. But anyway, I still take Najee Harris, but I get it. If you want to take Breece Hall, I get it. He's first round draft capital. He's over 3 years younger than Najee Harris. I wish I were fully confident that Breece Hall were good. Like if I were fully confident, then he would be above Najee Harris.
Do you mean in the sense that we're not sure about any rookie, or do you mean you have questions about him yourself?
Oh, how many prospects really come into the NFL and you're 100% sure? Really? How many are there? I mean, how many have there been at the running back position? Really? In the last 10 years, there was really one. I mean, who was the best running back prospect in the last 10 years?
Saquon.
And was that really? He was the one. He was the best running back prospect like ever. And
it was a good draft.
Yeah, it was. I'm just saying that he delivered 1 year and then it wasn't so much. So you never know for sure. So I would just say that I would stick with Najee Harris for now, but if Breece Hall comes out and looks good, that ranking would change very quickly. There's a couple weeks on the field. They'd be close.
Okay. I have a dumb question.
Sure.
If we get Breece Hall to the Buffalo Bills, do we all of a sudden not care about Josh Allen vulturing touchdowns, or is that just apply to everybody but Breece Hall?
No, the problem was that when it was a split backfield, Josh Allen vulturing touchdowns, you can't, 50% of Buffalo, 55% is not good enough. But when Devin Singletary had 80%, all of a sudden everything was fine. Everything was fine, right? He was usable. He was great. I mean, He's totally usable, right? So
Fine is a good way to describe it. Like, I don't know that
that was Devin Singletary. I mean, Devin Singletary, when he was the starter, when Zach Moss actually went away, Devin Singletary was a borderline RB1. You don't think Breece Hall could be top 5? I think so.
That's the question. I mean, not if he's not getting touchdowns, right?
I think so. He's so much better. I mean, the talent comparison is not even close. I mean, Devin Singletary is a below average running back.
Well, sure, but I mean, like, the comparison is not between him and Devin Singletary as much as it is where we're going to rank him, right? Because if we're ranking him as a top 5 running back, knowing that Josh Allen is going to get 8-9 rushing touchdowns potentially, is that a fair ranking?
Dynasty, I'm fine with it because of the age. If he gets first round capital with the age, it's going to be hard to not rank him as a top 5 dynasty. He will rank as a top 5 dynasty running back. If he goes in the first, I'm going to start off by ranking him at 5. I'll have Taylor, Swift, Najee, and Javonte ahead. And Javonte is not a guarantee. If the Broncos surprise us and draft someone in the second round, then he won't be out of Hall either. So, I mean, if Breece Hall goes in the first, he'll start at worst at 5. And depending on what happens to everyone else, the Lions are also rumored to take a running back. That could put DeAndre Swift down. So, yeah, he has room. He'll be 5 at minimum if he goes in the first, no matter where he goes. If he goes in the first, he'll be top 5.
So Najee over him, though?
More than likely, yes. Just because Najee's workload is guaranteed. But again, the Steelers surprised us and taking running back on day 2. I doubt it. Unlike the Lions and the Broncos, I don't see the Steelers doing that. I don't think it'll happen. But if they do, I would consider making a change there.
I feel like they draft a running back in every draft. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I feel like it's been a long time since they didn't draft one.
Well, they didn't draft. Yeah, I mean, if they draft someone higher than day 3. But I don't expect them to do that.
Henry the Legend's in the house. What's up, Henry? Appreciate you joining us. T-minus 48 hours for the draft. We are pumped as you are. And Henry, hey, if you don't have anything to do, make sure you're watching the live stream right here on SDLF or on DLF. Also, Tyler's got one on his channel too. Tyler, you want to tell everybody about that?
We will be competing.
Yeah.
I think it'll be very interesting. I'll have my live stream. There will be lots of guests that some of DLF's own. And Cal will be on it on night 2, and so will Addison. And then there's a few other people from DLF. Hutch will be on it. Shane, John Hesterman.
Pull up 2 screens. Pull up both of them.
Yeah.
You won't regret it.
Yeah, there'll be quite a few people from DLF on it. So, and I'm sure I forgot someone, and I'm sorry to whoever I forgot. But there's lots of other guests. Those are just the DLF ones.
Matthew Carver chiming in, not the most exciting trade in the world, but I got mid-4th and mid-5th in a 10-team Superflex league trading away me, Cole. Failure. Is that good enough?
Yeah, I mean, after the Chiefs draft a wide receiver, he'll be the wide receiver 4 on the depth chart, so he'll have no value at all. So, yeah, that's fine. Good with it.
Trade.
Yeah.
Nice job. Sean says, what's up, y'all? Sorry to come out firing. It's okay, Sean. That's what we're here for. Come out firing all you want. What's Debo's trade value? Sent the 103 and a third in a 12-team Superflex after the trade request. What are your thoughts?
I'm fine with that. I mean, in a Superflex, really, other than Malik Willis and Breece Hall, no one else is going to be nearly as good as Debo. So I'll take Debo there.
Make sure you guys are using the chat right there, and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you look down there, if it's red, that means you haven't subscribed yet. Make sure that you subscribe, hit those notifications. You want to make sure that you're getting all the great content that we're putting out for you guys. Addison has been amazing at his draft coverage. Honestly, if you just wanted to spend the next few hours watching those videos, you'll be all caught up and you'll know every single name that's drafted, all 7 rounds for sure if you do that. Nico chimes in. I sent Carr plus Dobbins for Justin Fields and Chubb. Which side do you got?
Fields and Chubb. Barely, but I'll take Fields and Chubb.
Yeah. Is this, if Dobbins didn't have that potential setback, would that change your mind? Like, would you have leaned that side before?
Yeah. Now it's easy, but I would have leaned that side before.
So Carr basically said that there's no way that they're trading Darren Waller, which makes sense to me. So with his weapons right now, is there any reason to think Derek Carr can't have his best season he's ever had?
Oh, I mean, I think he could. But what would that represent? QB9? That's his ceiling.
Are you confident Fields is going to have a better season?
No, but Fields has a lot more upside.
Agreed. Noah Gould. Hey, fellas, which is a better running back sell right now, Travis Etienne or Elijah Mitchell?
Neither, really. But I guess I'd rather Mitchell's not a sell, so I'd rather sell Etienne.
Yeah, if Mitchell's value is anywhere close to what it is on his ADP, where he's RB23, then he's definitely not a sell. Travis Etienne, RB17, who hasn't taken a snap, yeah, that's the one you want to sell.
I don't really get it. I don't know why Etienne is ranked ahead. Mitchell's obviously proved a lot more. Etienne hasn't proved anything.
Agreed. BJ Lee, Najee Harris, or Breece Hall if he ends up on the Bills. We already did this one, so
yeah, we answered that.
Skip that. Ja Webb, trade a 2023 second to trade up from 103 to 102 to ensure Walker.
No, I don't think so. I think that Walker and some of the top wide receivers, Burks, London, depending on where they go, Wilson as well, was my wide receiver one. They're all going to be in the same tier for me, very close to each other. So I don't think I'm going to pay a 23 second to do that. No, thank you.
Yes. Try to get some intel out of your.
I'd like to do the opposite of this. The opposite. And receive a 23 second to move down from 102 to 103. The opposite sounds great, but I don't really want to do this. So I'll pass on that offer.
Me and PJ at one point had a bet about what's the running back from Tyson Williams in Baltimore. And I said he wasn't going to be worth anything I don't remember what it was. But anyway, this is why he's saying I'm the best fantasy football analyst of all time. Love you, Tyler. He says, what's up, fellas? So what's up, PJ?
You should just say that you're the best. Say that you're the best.
It's clearly true. Mitchell Grady, 2023 first, or Zach Wilson, 12-team super flex. What do you think?
I mean, I don't want to pay a 23 first to get Zach Wilson. I guess you could, but I'd rather not.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Especially, I feel like there are better quarterbacks you can get for that.
Oh, I hope so. I'd rather have Derek Carr instead. I think you could get Derek Carr for a 23 first. That I might want to do, but not Zach Wilson.
Tyler Reeves, what are y'all doing at the 103 in Superflex? Are you taking a QB or Wilson or Burks? What do you think?
Really, the 103 in Superflex is the same decision as the 102 and 1 QB. Right? I mean, Hall and Willis will be gone, and then you have to make your choice. It's not going to be a quarterback for me. It's the same choice, the same Walker, Wilson, Burks, London choice. And that depends on landing spot because they're all in the same tier. Draft capital.
Right. Yep. We'll know a lot more here in just a few days. That's for sure. Rob Downs, welcome. 12-team, 1 QB, PPR offered 103, 104 for my 101. And Gabriel Davis also have 105 and 106.
Yeah, I'm just going to take the 101 and take Breece Hall instead of all of this maybe. So it's not really that close for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think Breece Hall is the most valuable asset in this draft, probably.
Yeah,
by a decent amount.
And also, like, I don't know. The rest of the class is so blah to me.
Mm-hmm. Gavin Grant, Cup plus 2023 second, or Pittman plus 2023 first plus 204 and 10-team 1 QB. What do you think?
Yeah, Cup is just worth more than that. Cup's worth more than that. So if you're going to sell him, you need to get more. I like Pittman. I like buying Pittman low. I mean, that's something I would look to do. But Cup is worth a lot more. So I'd have to pass on this one.
Monty, what's up, dude? Appreciate you chiming in. Appreciate your question. If you have a question like Monty, go ahead and use that chat. Or if you want to call your shot, use that as well. Monty says 1 QB, 10-team PPR, 105, 2023 second for Diggs.
All right. I mean, you can do this. You can do this, and you can buy Diggs for this. This is not a bad price. But, just know what you're doing. Stephon Diggs is never going to increase in value again. He's already 28. I don't think that he has, it's not like Cooper Kupp, who last year got a new quarterback. We've already seen 2 years with Diggs and Josh Allen. And the second year was worse than the first. I don't know. I don't think year 3 is going to be more like year 1. I think it's going to be more like year 2. And they gave him the extension knowing what year 2 looked like. So you're going to get someone who's probably going to give you another wide receiver 5 to 8 performance this year. And then I would expect a decline to come after that. So know what you're buying. You're never going to recoup the value, but if you're okay with just buying the rest of Stephon Diggs' career, this is not an awful price.
I like it. Recovering really truther. Yo, guys, making this rainy Philly Tuesday a bit better. It is a rainy Tuesday. It's also Taco Tuesday.
It's raining here too.
I can tell these sounds or effects are going to aggravate you, Tyler. Gavin Grant, 204, or Ramondre Stevenson.
I feel like I get this question all the time. I have them back to back, so I'll just take the 204.
Tyler Reeves says 203 and Michael Carter or Jacobs. Wow.
I'll just take Jacobs. I don't want to stop Carter.
No, I want Jacobs there.
That's the value
price for Jacobs
on Thursday or Friday. More likely Friday.
PJ says Garrett Wilson's the best wide receiver in this draft, and he's landing spot proof.
I mean, landing spot is always just a suggestion. And in this case, I'm fine with that. I don't think he's going to fail in just because he goes to the Jets or Atlanta.
I like it. Which side? Mike Gesicki, 2023 second and 103 for Kelsey and 105. My feeling is the Kelsey side. Just want thoughts.
Kelsey should be worth more than that, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. I mean, Gesicki has really no value to me anymore. So, yeah, it is still the Kelsey side, but I get wanting to sell Kelsey. I get it.
It is. I feel like adding the 105 in there shouldn't be necessary.
No, but you're not going to get the whole other side just for Kelsey.
John Henry's happy Waffle Wednesday, gentlemen.
This is our first shot in many weeks. Thank you. Trade 103, 110 for 102, 302, and 303, 1 QB 12 team. So I didn't even want to give up a 23 second to move up from the 103 to the 102. So there's no way I'm going to give up the 110 and trading back for a couple of thirds to move up one spot. So no shot. I'll take the 103 side easily. Very easily, actually.
That's a good deal to get rid of 302 and 303 and get 110.
Well, sure, but that's not the deal. The deal is having the 103 side.
No, I know. I'm just saying like that. If you have the 102 and you can trade back like this,
I agree. I agree with you that I would like to do that, but that's not the question.
No, yeah, he's considering it though. So if you got somebody that's like you're in that spot, you got the 103, send that out to the guy that has the 102. Don't do it if you have the 102.
Yeah.
How about Dobbins? What's his value? Is it close to the 104 in a 12-team 1 QB league?
It's about that. But honestly, I don't even want to pay that. I think you should be able to pay less.
Man, I definitely would take Dobbins for the 104.
I think you're going to regret that. I fully expect the Ravens to take a running back in this draft. They have picks at 45. That seems a little early, but they have 76 and 100 in the third round. I would bet on one of those being a running back. And it could be someone we really don't like. Someone who gets in the way. I'm thinking Zamir White. Zamir White would get in the way. Zamir White is boring. Boring. Offers no upside. But all he does is take a lot of carries, does nothing with them. And do we want that? Does that sound like a good thing? We want to have someone in the offense who's going to take up a lot of carries, not do anything, and take them away from J.K. Dobbins? It doesn't sound good. So I think we're going to regret that in about 3 days.
Recovering really truther. How much do you think a random 2023 first will increase in value after this draft season ends? Do you think it's going to go up, or is that already built in? I kind of think it's already built in.
So high that I don't think it's going to go up much, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay, so Jacob Callaway, what does the market overreact to the most in the draft?
Most post-draft, underreact post-draft. That's what he's asking.
Sure. I like most draft.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because the draft hasn't happened yet. Like hypotheticals, I don't know. Probably they overreact to quarterbacks who get additional weapons. Like Zach Wilson is gonna get an additional weapon, and people are probably gonna be more in on him. But we should know that already. So I don't know.
Yeah. They most overreact to me. Well, okay, so there's landing spot, but there's also, I think there's this moment in time where everyone assumes that whatever rookie was drafted is just going to immediately take the top spot in the depth chart.
Yeah, but
I think we're like, oh, by week 7, this guy's going to be the starter. And we are like so many times wrong about that.
Yeah, I think we probably overestimate the bottom end rookies, but you know.
Yeah. Let's see. PJ Kennedy, hot take is Love gets traded during the draft to Seattle or Houston. Why would Seattle or Houston do this is my question. What have they seen that makes them want Jordan Love?
I don't know. I don't know what they've seen because he sucks. So I don't know why they would do that. Why they would bother to put him on their team. He's so bad. There's just no reason to do that. So I don't see any point.
Let's assume a Superflex League, Mac and 103 for Trey Lance.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's about good value. If you look at a startup board, that's about what Lance should cost. Honestly, that's kind of expensive. I would take Mac in the 103.
Ooh, see, I want Lance. I like Mac, but give me Lance.
It's kind of expensive for someone who hasn't actually done anything at all.
But he's got the magic man of Kyle Shanahan that's about to make him a unicorn.
We'll see if that applies to everybody.
Monty watched a betting pod, and they all agreed the only thing they could accurately predict is that there will be a draft on Thursday.
Well, I'm confident in that. That I can bet on for sure.
I do feel like there is way more uncertainty than we've ever had. And I'm really excited. Just like this is one of those where it's like nobody knows what's going to happen. So like, let's just see.
We were like so sure. I mean, we didn't know who San Francisco would take quarterback at 3, but we were almost like 100% sure by the time the draft went off that it was going to be Lawrence 1, Wilson 2, Pitts 4, Chase 5. Like we were very sure about all that.
Like we got excited about 103 or the third pick because of the 49ers. That was the only thing we weren't sure was going to happen, it seemed like. And then like I think this draft, like we could legitimately see like 10 straight picks that we don't like. We're like, okay, cool. That offensive lineman went. Okay, cool. That defensive lineman went like, and just
I think we're going to get 2 wide receivers in the top 10. And the Panthers at 6 are really interesting. They could take. I just can't imagine that they sit there with no pick in the 2nd and 3rd and just take an offensive lineman, and then they just are like forget their quarterback completely. I think they're either going to take a quarterback or trade down and hope to get a quarterback later.
What if they don't take a quarterback?
I just can't imagine that.
So I like. Are you moving Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
Are they going to start Sam Darnold?
No, I mean their GM said that they were going to add a quarterback this weekend. So they're going to add a quarterback this weekend. Could be Jimmy Garoppolo. Travis
Etienne or the 106?
That is about right. But in a 1 QB, I'll take Etienne over the 106, and in a super flex, I'll take the 106 over him.
I feel like Etienne. I almost feel like we're overlooking how much we should be selling him right now.
There's a lot of risk.
So much risk.
You shouldn't look at him as a sure thing.
David Kalinowski, as a contender in Superflex, how important is your QB3? Should I trade Tannehill for more skill position depth if he's behind Mahomes and Jackson? I say do not trade him if you got Mahomes and Jackson.
You can trade him if you get good value, but I wouldn't. It's important. I mean, having QB3 is important.
Especially, Jackson has not been healthy.
Yeah,
honestly, as Mahomes hasn't. Like Mahomes has had some difficulties too. He's played a lot of games.
Yeah, I would just, unless you get a really good offer that you can't turn down, I would not really actively look to move Tannehill.
Here we go. We're now getting back to the point where we ask for hot takes and FF Lefties delivering. Fellas, it's Taco Tuesday and the draft can get here soon enough. Here's my hot take. Malik Willis starts right away and is actually really good for fantasy. QB8 finish on the season. That would be good.
Oh, that would be great. I don't know. Where is he going to go that happens? Atlanta, I guess. And then there's no weapons there. I guess he could just run to do it. I don't know. Carolina's more likely. If he goes to Carolina, he can dump off to Christian McCaffrey and throw to DJ Moore at least.
Travis Etienne and 110.
Or 110. I'll take Etienne over the 110.
Oh, sorry. Actually, is Etienne 110 or Amon St. Brown and 107?
I'll take Amon-Ra on the 107.
Me too. Rob Downs has a hot take for the 2022 NFL draft. 7 wide receivers in the first round. 7. That's a lot.
I don't think that's that unlikely. I mean, it's going to be at least 5.
Hey, guys, excited for the show. How about that recent Debo report?
You got to be more specific.
I feel like there's something different all the time.
Yeah, which one? I don't know. Is there another one that I missed or something?
Let's go. Well, what are your overall thoughts right now about Debo Samuel in terms of is there any chance he stays in San Francisco? Because it sounds like they're going to ask for the moon.
I think there's almost no chance.
And John Lynch is saying no trade.
Yeah, of course he's going to say that. The 49ers are big liars. We know that. We know that they're liars. They don't tell the truth. So we don't need to worry about that. So I think he's gone, personally. They can say they don't want to trade him all they want, but I think they will.
You can't ever imagine wanting to move on from Debo. That's all I see. I don't see anything else. If there's
moving him, we can't imagine it is a little more equivocal.
Yeah. Let us know, Ryan, what you mean if there's something else. Marco, hold on, Terrace Marshall or Nico Collins? Which one of those first-year flops do you want?
Nico Collins. Terrace Marshall, just not it.
Tom Lee, what if Walker goes to the Falcons? Oh, this is his hot take. Walker to the Falcons and finishes a top 10 running back.
I think that's borderline not possible.
Not possible?
No. How? He's not going to get pass catching work to do it, and he's going to be on a bad team that doesn't score enough. That I think is almost impossible. Sorry.
Well, he would. So if for this to happen, this is the right kind of situation, right? Because running quarterback, we don't think he's going to be catching passes anyway. So the running quarterback doesn't matter that much. And if their goal is to try and lead the league in rushing attempts or something, and
I just don't see it. I don't think that's possible.
PJ says Hall is the real deal, but give me Najee is proven in the NFL. Marco says, do you think Mariota is going to be the QB1 of the Falcons this year?
No. Mariota sucks.
Wow.
He sucks. I mean, he's terrible. Do you remember that? Maybe you do. I'm sure you do. But do you remember how many people were calling for his head when he was playing on the tight ends? How bad he was. Just how bad. I feel like it's been whitewashed, just forgotten how bad he was. He was awful for years. Awful. I mean, unwatchable garbage level of awful. And then Ryan Tannehill comes in, same exact team, and is suddenly magically good. Mm-hmm. Ryan Tannehill is nothing special. So, no, Mariota is straight garbage.
Monty wants you to take it easy. He says your running back hate is showing.
We know that I don't recommend building around running backs. We know that.
Randy's got a hot take. If the Raiders had a first-round pick, they would use it on a fourth-round player. Come on, that's not even hot anymore. That's like a cold take. We know that's going to happen. Yeah. It would happen. Packers will not draft a wide receiver in the first round. The Packers don't invest in the position at all. They're always linked to every free agent. I'm like,
this year will be the year that changes, though. I think this year will be the year that changes.
Steelers are going to draft a wide receiver after the first day.
That's basically a lock because they have no wide receivers other than Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool at all.
Ray McLeod, not a fan.
Ray McLeod is on the 49ers.
Oh shoot. Dang, I can't even think of who their wide receiver 3 is then. Who is it?
I actually don't know. But
yeah.
If I don't know, that's not a good sign.
I apologize for missing the giant news of Ray signing with the 49ers.
Actually, it's Miles Boykin is who they have for wide receiver 3.
That's why he was on Sleeper's top movers, top ads. Joel A, Deontay Johnson, or DJ Moore.
So I really work too hard on Twitter. I really do. I interact with everybody. And then I just post Deontay Johnson and DJ Moore are good. And boom, 250 likes for that. It took 10 seconds. They didn't do anything. Didn't promote it. Suddenly, I worked too hard. But to pick between the two, I'll go with Deontay Johnson.
I like it. Let's see. It's me, Yepper. You know what? So here, I guess the thing is, like, DJ Moore would have needed a quarterback upgrade, and I could have gotten on board with him.
Oh, if he got a quarterback upgrade, I'd prefer him, but he doesn't.
Deontay did get a quarterback upgrade.
Yeah, he sort of did.
It's me, Yepper's new Patreon. Enjoy Taco Tuesday, Waffle Wednesday. Awesome show, guys. Thank you. That's right. It is. That's LeBron. I'm sure you knew that. Corey Skiles traded Juju and 210 for Michael Pittman. Other guy's a Chiefs fan. I know in hardcore leagues you can't do that as much, but what do you think about the strategy of targeting fans of certain teams for trades?
First of all, I love the trade. And secondly, sure. I mean, take whatever advantage you can get, right? Whatever advantage allows you to accumulate more value, take advantage of it. So, yeah, I like it.
And I don't care if it's hardcore or not. Like people make emotional decisions all the time, and you should absolutely take advantage of whatever emotional decisions you can in fantasy football.
That's true.
David Kalinowski, explain the hate for Mixon these days. Isn't ancient old like Henry, plays on an explosive offensive line, O-line improvement, or offense, O-line improvement, and no competition for workload.
Is there hate for Mixon? Who hates Mixon?
So right now he's RB9. Joe Mixon or Breece Hall?
Hall.
Yeah, see, that's where I kind of start getting to the place where I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to anoint Breece yet, because I know what I'm getting with Mixon.
I mean, 5 years. Mixon is going to be 26 going into the season. We have 5 seasons of Mixon. It's funny because even though Mixon has been good, I feel like Mixon is kind of talent-wise been a disappointment. I feel like he hasn't been what we thought he would be. As crazy as that is to believe. For someone who's been as good as Joe Mixon, I actually feel like he hasn't really produced to his talent level. So
he had some disappointing seasons in terms of injuries for sure. But I mean, he showed last year what he can do.
Yeah, he's fine. He's going to be good for a couple more years.
I do think the people that are hating on him are probably the people that told you, like, stay away, never draft him. He hurt me. And therefore, like, oh no, stay away from him. I think that's a lot of the hate.
That's probably true.
Louis G at 104, 10 team, full PPR, Dynasty. Who do we like best? Burks, Olave, London, or Jameson?
Burks for now. We'll see.
Burks. Does non-PPR
99-cent super chat with no question, but thank you.
That's our same guy right there, Louis G.
Yeah, no, it's the same guy.
Does it change at all if you're talking about non-PPR?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Very similar. I would say, gosh, man, probably Burks.
Lean Burks. I like London too.
I don't want it to be Burks, but yeah, Burks or London. PJ Kennedy, so you guys think Houston takes a QB early, maybe the second round?
Did I say that?
No, do you think it? Do you think
no. No, I don't. I don't think that.
Randy, wait, I'm going to say Isaiah Spiller to the Broncos in round 3.
Yeah, that I could very much see, actually.
Sucks for Isaiah Spiller.
Yeah, well, it does suck. Yeah, I know. Anyone, I mean, if you want to know, I mean, where do you not want to go? You don't want to go to Indianapolis. You don't want to go to Denver.
Yeah, true.
Pittsburgh, you don't want to go there. Those are some really bad landing spots.
Yeah, Davis. Most people have him as a top 10 RB. I think sometimes people like hate on him on Twitter, and then when you press them, they have him like RB9 instead of 7 or something.
Yeah.
It would be somewhat surprising to see Detroit draft a running back.
It would be surprising, but I would say it would be less surprising than you would think.
This is the team that like refused to anoint Swift as their like 1A or whatever that was. They call them 1B or whatever, right?
Stupid, but yes, it is that same team.
So it still would be like, it would be surprising because you're like, gosh, I can't believe they are this unsmart. Yeah, this is the Raiders take. Marco, should I hold on to Kyle Trask?
You don't have to, but in Superflex, he probably should still be rostered. But at this point, it doesn't even seem like they considered Kyle Trask a backup plan. He's just someone they drafted. So I don't think so.
Only in the deepest of leagues for me.
Yeah, very deep Superflex league, maybe.
Shady Sports Network. Maybe I missed it. Where do you rank Miles Sanders? I don't think we talked much about Miles Sanders here.
Yeah, we don't talk about him because he sucks. I have Miles Sanders at running back 27, and that's not even with the rookies included. So very low. Not a fan. I just don't think he's very good. I've never really liked Miles. I mean, maybe I did way back in the day, but I haven't liked Miles Sanders in the time we've done this show.
Running back 27. That puts him pretty low.
I'm fine with it.
So let's see. I'm going to pull up.
They're going to draft someone, I think. I mean, I can't imagine that. What do they have? They have Kenneth Gainwell as their backup. I mean, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that they're gonna have to improve that running back room with a day 2 pick. So last year of Miles Sanders' contract, they have to look to move on.
Okay, so Miles Sanders right now in the consensus for DLF is RB24. Would you take Miles Sanders or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
I'll take Clyde.
Wow. So you really, really hate Miles Sanders.
Well, I think it's just obvious that Philadelphia is going to take another running back at this point. Another one.
Wow. Or you love Clyde Edwards-Helaire, one of the two.
Yeah, no, that I don't do. I have Clyde at 26, so I don't like him either.
Miles Sanders or A.J. Dillon?
Oh, A.J. Dillon easily.
Easily, okay.
Yeah,
Miles
easily.
Sanders or Michael Carter?
Well, I'll take my chances and take Carter, but that could look bad.
Okay. Let's see. Ryan McDowell has him at 25, so pretty close. Pretty close.
Philadelphia at 51 is in play for Kenneth Walker. By the way, it's
Breece Hall.
He'll be gone.
Okay.
Breece Hall is going to the Bills. I'm fairly confident Breece Hall is going to the Bills at 25. And I don't think he gets past Houston at 37. I think that's Breece Hall's floor. Whereas I just don't know that people see Kenneth Walker as that valuable. It's possible. Kenneth Walker's floor, I think, is 58 to Atlanta, I think is the lowest he could fall. I don't think he gets out of the second.
Miles Sanders is going at RB30 in the ADP. So actually the drafters are even lower on him than you.
Well, rookies are included in that ADP, so he's probably not. He's probably exactly the same. He's bad. I can't blame people for being low on him. He's bad.
Recovering Ridley Truther. Thoughts on taking Irv Smith in a 12-team Superflex 1.75 tight end premium and startup at the 11.5.
Too early. Yeah.
He's so young. He's 23 years old.
I know. What is he? August 9th, 1998 or something?
We need our fact checker.
Fact checker. Where's the fact checker? But It's just too early. He hasn't done anything really at all. 3 years, nothing. I mean, it's a lot to spend on him.
Would you want Michael Carter or Carter Outlook got offered Tony or CEH plus 209? Okay, so either one of these or Michael Carter.
Ugh, I mean, this is all bad, but I'll take the CEH offer so I can get the 209. But I don't want any of this.
Is there a chance that Michael Carter's value could he still have value if he's sharing the backfield with somebody not named Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall?
Well, if that's the case, then yes. I think Michael Carter's better than every other running back in this class.
Yeah.
But I really do think that the Jets pick Kenneth Walker with one of those two picks. Or Breece Hall if he's still there, and that would be even worse. Then Michael Carter would be just dead.
Monty, I'll be having my nightly live stream about 2 a.m. and then go back to bed. I appreciate you hanging out with us, Monty. PJ wants a t-shirt. Addison, come on, Addison.
Yeah, Addison.
Open 24 hours. Hey now, cheers, homies. What's up? Appreciate you. I don't know what to call you other than open 24 hours. So,
I mean,
I can go with it. BV, what are the biggest coaching changes that can influence team usage across positions that we should be aware of for 2022?
That's a good question. I don't really have any off the top of my head. You got anything good?
Yeah, I actually think this is a really big one that we need to pay attention to. Doug Peterson was always one of the top most plays run in the NFL when he was the offensive coordinator and head coach there in Philadelphia, and the Jacksonville Jaguars were bottom 3 maybe even last year in the NFL with Urban Meyer. So I think they are going to be a lot more up-tempo. There's going to be a lot more plays and a lot more opportunities, not only for Trevor Lawrence, but for whoever ends up in the backfield and for their wide receivers or weapons. I think that's why I think Trevor Lawrence is good. And
well, that would be great. That would be great. I would love that.
BV, if you would like, one of the things you could do is on this channel, I did one of my Dynasty Refinery episodes with Heath Cummings, and we talked about how the coaching changes affect his projections. And we really kind of dove in pretty deep on that. So maybe you might want to go check that out. Sean says, do you guys buy during dips or wait for the dust to settle with holdouts and trade rumors?
Depends on the dip. I don't have.
So Debo right now.
Sure. Debo, sure. I'll buy Debo.
If he goes anywhere else, he loses value, right? All right. Yeah.
But I'll still buy Debo.
Okay. What setback did Dobbins have? Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
That there's a specific setback. It's just obvious that the Ravens aren't confident in him because they're taking so many meetings with running backs in this year's draft. They're going to pick one. They obviously don't have faith in him. So it's more that than anything else. But we don't know.
I'm not sure that there is a specific one. His comments were not definitive to me.
Well, I think that they're going to take him running back anyway. So they're clearly not confident.
Trevon Bulger, AJ Brown, or CMC in a startup Superflex draft. What do you think?
AJ Brown.
Oh, wow. Really? Is that?
Yeah, really.
In ADP? Is that where we are?
It should be. I mean, AJ Brown should be higher than CMC.
Christian McCaffrey at RB5. Yeah, at 11. Yeah. AJ Brown's at 10. Interesting.
Yeah, AJ Brown.
Open 24 hours, 10-team Superflex, full PPR, CMC, or Dobbins, and 2023 second.
Yeah, CMC is worth a lot more than that. So I'll take CMC.
Shot trades 2022 103 and 110 for the 2022 102. Okay, this one I think we did.
Yeah, we did that already.
Actually, Matthew Biddle, 12-team PPR non-Superflex league, trade Fant 201 and 209 for Cole Kmet and a 2022.
I don't understand this trade. I mean, Fant is worth more than Kmet. The 201's worth. What is that supposed to be? A 23 second? I don't get. It's the Fant side. I don't understand this trade. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Do you think, do you have hope for Fant at all this year?
Compared to Komet, yes.
Now you were pretty big on Komet last year.
Well, not anymore.
Okay.
Times change.
Do you think he's just done?
No, I don't think he's done. I think he's just not a fantasy asset, really. He just exists. He's fine. He's good. He's a good NFL player, but I don't think he's going to be someone in fantasy we're going to be running out to start. That's all. There are players like that. I mean, really, CJ Uzama has been like that for years. I think that's kind of what you might get.
Eric says, Cal, hit me up with another first kid nugget of wisdom. I think be willing to be flexible and you can have a plan, but be flexible. Like going into a draft, right? Like going to the draft, like you got a plan, but things are going to go in a way that you didn't expect. And be willing to be flexible with some of those things that you're like, oh, my kid will never sleep in the bed with me, or my kid will never do this, or my kid will never do that, or those are the kind of things that you laugh at later and you're like, remember when we said this? Yeah. So be flexible.
Never is a very dangerous word to use.
Yeah, no doubt. Stefan and Eric, I love these. You could keep doing that. I love all of those. Stefan Peterson, what's your favorite movies? Tyler, do you have any favorite movies?
Avengers Infinity War.
Okay. Infinity War over Endgame?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And hot take season.
Yeah, that's not a hot take. If you look at the reviews, I think Infinity War had better reviews than Endgame. Okay. Other than that, what do I usually? I mean, Knives Out is a movie I really liked. I don't know if that's one of my favorites, but that's one of my favorites recent movies. A Fight Club is another movie I really like.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I always mention Mean Girls because I love Mean Girls.
Remember the Titans is always one of my favorites. I love that movie.
I like that movie. Yeah,
that's a great movie.
Relatively recently, actually.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't watch it when it came out.
It's so good. Fine. Shawshank, that's another one.
I've never seen that.
7.
Never seen that either, but I've always wanted to.
Patrick Pichette, Dynasty Superflex Startup. What is the earliest pick you would be okay giving up to get rookie 101, 102, 103?
What? I don't.
So, in a Dynasty Superflex, which pick in the startup would you give up for rookie 101, 102?
All right, sure. So I'll just tell you where they rank. So the 101 in my chart ranks 23rd overall, 102 is 28th overall, and 103 is 45th overall. So if you want the chart that tells you the answer to this, it's on my Patreon. You should buy it. It's only costs $5 a month. If you sign up, I have a promo. If you sign up for the rest of this month, I'll give you the initial payment back for free. And in addition to that, if you sign up for an annual subscription, I'll give you 16% off.
Let's go.
And there's the link. I have Patreon. I really have patreon.com/fantasy advice.
Breaking news, Tyler. You ready to break some news?
Yeah, although I already know what it is.
Melvin Gordon, free agent Melvin Gordon re-signs with the Denver Broncos. Thoughts?
That is a surprise. You got a contract take for me?
I'm looking now. I'm efforting that as we speak. Okay. Does this change Javonte Williams for you at all?
It's better than them. If we look at the rookies in this class, it's better than them obviously drafting Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker or even Isaiah Spiller. I'd much rather have Melvin Gordon than Isaiah Spiller or even James Cook, Zamir White. I'd rather have Melvin Gordon than one of those guys. But, given that probably the market had it priced that they weren't going to get any of those guys, it was going to be someone much lower. I would say that this is generally a reduction in Javonte Williams' rank. But he's still not going to drop that far for me. But now Breece Hall has the striking distance to, if he goes first round to the Bills, now we'll revise that he'll be RB4, not RB5. He'll be above Javonte Williams. So Javonte Williams is now within striking distance.
We've had a few days where we give some homework. I'm ready to give some more homework.
For me?
No, go make offers for Javonte Williams today.
Oh, I agree. I would do that because I'm still not going to drop his price that much. Before this, I had him 7th overall in 1 QB RB4. I'm debating really between, am I going to drop him below Christian McCaffrey? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. Christian McCaffrey is just always injured. And then I have Cooper Kupp at 10. I'll probably drop him below CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown. Especially, just because I really like AJ Brown. I just think AJ Brown is an alpha. He's star. And now we're getting to the possibility that Javonte Williams is never that. And CeeDee Lamb is just someone I believe in. People have a lot of doubt in him, but I'm confident that he's going to be a great player. So I still have him up there, but I'll probably drop Javonte Williams below them, but I won't drop him that far, which means that he will be probably a buy for me. And then as for Melvin Gordon, speaking of his side of things, unfortunately, this is not the landing spot I wanted. So he's probably going to lose most of his value. Like, he's just now, you're not going to be able to start Melvin Gordon. You could barely start him last year.
Yeah. Melvin Gordon did have 1,000 yards last year. It looks like the only number I see is 1 million or 1 year, 3 million.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a backup. I just like,
not a big investment.
For me, I'm looking at where I had Melvin Gordon ranked before. I had him just below Alexander Mattison and just ahead of Ronald Jones, and that feels about right. I'm not sure I need to move him.
Now, Melvin Gordon and Russell Wilson did play together at Wisconsin. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Melvin Gordon to me, I honestly, I think I have him ranked in Dynasty just exactly right. I have him at running back 37, and for someone his age, that's good. But Javonte Williams is going to drop a couple spots for me. And he's going to drop below that group of quarterbacks in Superflex. So he's going to go down from 15th overall, where I have him now, all the way down to 22nd, because there's a whole group of quarterbacks that he's going to fall below.
People are going to take Breece Hall over Javonte, aren't they?
If Breece Hall goes in the first to Buffalo, you can count me among them.
Oh, no way. That's a mistake.
I don't agree. So you're telling me it's a mistake, right? It's a mistake. So
how is Melvin Gordon?
Well, why? No, but it's not about that. Why would it be a mistake, right? Let's look at the reality of the situation. Mm-hmm. If Breece Hall goes in the first, right? Let's say he does. Mm-hmm. Who would have better draft capital between Breece Hall and Javonte Williams? Breece Hall would have better draft capital. Who is a better prospect, actually? If you actually look at them, who's actually better? For me, I actually think Breece Hall is better. I actually think Breece Hall is a better prospect. I've always thought that. I've always thought that Breece Hall was somewhere in between Travis Etienne and Javonte Williams as prospects, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And then he'd have Javonte Williams, you would say he had production, but he didn't really. He wasn't even an RB1 last year. You couldn't really start him. So if Breece Hall goes in the first, it would actually be difficult. The only reason you'd have Javonte Williams over him is that the eye test of last year says so. That's the only reason. Every other reason would be Breece Hall. So I would have Breece Hall over him. If he goes in the first. He has to go in the first. If he doesn't go in the first, then that's off the table for me. He won't be. Because if you don't go in the first, you're just not guaranteed. If you go in the first, unless your name is Rashad Penny or Sony Michel, you pretty much hit. There's really not a lot of failures in the first. Even Saquon Barkley, as much shit as I give him, finished as the RB1.
He definitely hit, no doubt.
And, more often when an RB running back goes in the first, you're getting Ezekiel Elliott. Worst case, you're getting Leonard Fournette, and that's not bad. You've had multiple RB1 seasons from that. So yeah, if Breece Hall goes in the first, I'll put him over Javonte Williams with Gordon back for sure. I'm I'm good with that.
Eric Hurst, Waddle for Mooney and Schultz and a tight end premium. Too low.
Okay, so we have Waddle for Mooney and Schultz. That's a laughable offer.
Laughable.
That offer is a joke to me. I'm not going to do that.
Don't trade Waddle for this plus a random, like a later 2022 first. Like I feel like there's have to be a lot added to the other side.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So
MBZ podcast will trade my 2022 103 and 110. We did this one. Monte, thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Appreciate you both. No questions, as I already know all the answers, says David. Showing love to you boys. So good. Nice job, David. Recovering really truther in his 12 team Superflex PPR. What's the most you'd pay for Leonard Fournette on a hopeful contender? I'm trying to get him, but the manager is crazy, I think.
We're not paying first for Leonard Fournette, so just forget about that. So we're not going to acquire Leonard Fournette in this league. Then. So we're not going to acquire Fournette in this league. That's the reality of that situation.
So if you think you're a contender, you think you're going to the playoffs.
I'm not paying it.
I just wanted to play that drop. But who could he pivot to? James Conner, maybe?
Am I the only one who's not hearing them?
If I'm the only one hearing them, I'm going to be really upset. Can nobody else hear that? They'll please tell me.
Drops. You're telling me that you're playing drops, but I'm not hearing any drops.
You can't hear them? I'm going to be so mad.
Did you think I just wasn't reacting to the drops the whole time? I was just like,
yes.
I'm so stoic that I just completely ignored them and moved on and just said nothing about them.
Would that be a surprise?
There have been no drops on this show.
I need somebody to tell me if they can hear this. Hang on. Can you hear the
drops? So maybe I'm the only one who can't hear them, but I don't hear them.
I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, I don't hear any drops. But the people in the chat, please tell us if you're hearing these alleged drops that Cal is playing.
Robert Bragg, startup 12-team Superflex Dynasty, where I pick 11. What's your thoughts on strategy, assuming the top 6 quarterbacks?
I have bad news.
What?
There are no drops at all.
Addison's gonna be so mad at me because he showed me how to do this, and I really thought I had it.
Well, we'll blame
I hear it.
You're the only one who hears it, bro.
Wow.
What would we use to describe what's going on right now? This sounds like failure. I think that's what it is.
It does.
Failure.
Does.
Big
I
failure.
cannot believe it. Wow.
I can't either.
I blame Addison.
Let's go back. I love that question.
Superflex Dynasty, where I pick 11. What's your thoughts on the strategy, assuming the top 6 quarterbacks are gone? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, you could take Deshaun Watson or Dak Prescott there, and that's fine. Or perhaps maybe Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson will fall if people take Prescott or Watson ahead of you. But take value, right? I mean, you're not going to get one of the top quarterbacks. You're not going to get one of the top quarterbacks. It is what it is.
PJ says, trade all your 2022 first for 2023 first. Same with second. Sell now with all the draft hype.
I guess. I mean,
Todd wants to know if Dobbins' career is over. I'm going to say no.
No, it's
definitely not.
That is a little hyperbolic, I would say.
Yeah. We don't even like that many running backs on it. I just feel like the hate's gone too far.
Yeah, I don't think his career is over. I think that's a little bit crazy.
Why do you hate Zamir White?
I don't hate Zamir White. He's just boring. That's all. I don't hate him. He's fine.
Per retweet from Addison, the Ravens are beating
so much. Why am I talking about how he's like a threat to Dobbins? That sounds like I don't hate him. He's competent.
This is not true. Gus Bus is amazing.
No, it's actually kind of true.
You can't be Gus Bus on nobody has met Gus Bus on steroids.
Zamir White doesn't really. He's big, right, and doesn't really catch any passes.
This is offensive to Gus Bus.
It's not that far from the truth, though. It's not a bad take.
Then I will want every share of Zamir White because that sounds like the best running back ever.
On the Ravens, it's going to be tough, but
Okay. But they also met with Melvin Gordon. They didn't make him better than a 1-year, $3 million offer. I mean, like, just because they're meeting with people doesn't mean.
Well, I just think that they prefer a younger guy. I don't think they wanted to pay much for Melvin Gordon.
Maybe. I'm shaken because of my drop thing. I'm going to try and pull it together.
You shook?
Zamir White is boring.
That's right. And yes, I know I probably just blew out people's hearing with that. Get over it.
Heady approach running back in Dynasty. Good question, Tyler. You got a pretty good running back strategy. You just hate them all, right?
No. I'm going to like Javonte Williams' value now.
How about he's got McCaffrey, he's got Swift, he's got Barkley, he's got Carter. You would say trade Barkley, trade Carter, trade Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, except for Swift. Swift can stay, but the other three can go.
You hate all of them.
I hate Barkley. The other ones.
There we go. So similar question here, but you prefer having 1 or 2 studs with better depth at other positions, or do you prefer more running back depth?
Well, I would say I like having a lot of running back depth, but not in the middle range. Like the running backs like Michael Carter, Miles Sanders, Leonard Fournette, although him I'm kind of okay with if he's cheap, unlike that ridiculous offer we heard earlier. But like, yeah, your Miles Sanders, your Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damian Harris, Rashad Penny, Singletary, those are Ramondre Stevenson. Those are just players I don't have. If you want to talk about running back depth I'm going to have players like Khalil Herbert, maybe would be someone I would stash. Yeah, he's high on my list of stashes, actually. Yeah, there aren't that many that I actually like, but there are some.
Monty, totally agree. High risk ETN because Liz Frank is Achilles times 1.5.
I also like
I'm
to
not
take
a doctor.
I like to take shots on rookies in rookie drafts. I'll vault up running backs up the board because you just never know. Running backs have the highest rate of hitting from the later rounds of any position by far.
True. Do you like running backs with Liz Frank injuries?
No. Liz Frank equals bad. We don't like that. We don't want to hear about that. So, yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why ETN carries risk.
I'm trying to look here and see. So, isn't that what Le'Veon Bell had? I almost feel like he's the only one that I remember not being being able to come back.
For all I criticize Le'Veon Bell was special. Le'Veon Bell was really good. Really, really good.
Was Trubisky's value in a super flex?
It just seems like the Steelers are going to be taking a quarterback.
Yeah. It's
right now I have Trubisky around the 207, but I don't expect that to hold up.
Hot take. Here we go. Carolina takes Bailey Zapp.
No shot.
Zappy? How do you say that?
Zappy. No chance. If they don't take a quarterback in this year's draft, then they're going to be getting Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Or Baker?
Not Baker. They don't like Baker.
8th round of my 12-team Superflex startup, Amari Cooper, Amon St. Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, or the rookie 108.
I'll just take the 108. I like Amon-Ra, but I'll just take the 108.
Who would you rank last out of those 3 wide receivers?
Oh, Juju Smith-Schuster.
You like him more than Amari?
No,
I mean less than Amari?
Oh, significantly less. Yeah, they're not very close to me.
Okay, Matthew wants to know what he does if he has all of those picks from this year, so a ton of them on the back end of a rebuild where I'm just missing running backs and a tight end. Do I move Michael Carter? So we do like the idea of moving Michael Carter because he's one of the ones we expect to lose value, but those are a lot of picks. And if you're on the back end of a rebuild, you really probably are at the place where you need to start packaging them together for upgrades.
Yeah, maybe, but I still would move Michael Carter because I think he's going to lose a lot of value.
Yeah. Solomon Willis and Sky Moore to Atlanta. Is that good for Sky Moore? Probably not.
Not really, no.
Yeah. I've got a $50 bet with a league mate.
About Sky Moore today, but I gave him to Indianapolis one pick earlier.
Okay. $50 bet with a league mate that Debo's traded by week 1. He's a bitter, delusional 49ers fan.
I would bet on him being traded by week 1.
Gosh, what an off season.
I know it's not even over yet.
12-team Superflex, tight end premium, half PPR, Kirk, Edmonds, Schultz, Ord, Deontay Johnson, James White, Austin Hooper, 3rd round, 2024 second.
Deontay Johnson, easily.
Mm-hmm. He's the best player by a lot.
By a lot, yeah. By a lot. Deontay Johnson.
P2 Thar, Taco Tuesday. Hello, gentlemen. Great to see you both. 1QB. What's the draft pick? That's the line where Kenneth Walker is worth 102/ wide receiver is the better option.
And it's just too many variables because Kenneth Walker, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, and Treylon Burks are all in the same tier to me. So that means there's a lot of variables with all of their draft capital. There's no line. Mm-hmm. This is not a question that has one simple answer. There's too many questions.
Anthony Miller's the Steelers wide receiver 3.
Not according to the depth chart I just saw, but he was listed on there. But they had him listed as a backup and Miles Boykin as the wide receiver 3.
How could I forget Anthony Miller?
Yeah, he's
1QB league, says Marcus. Got a guy on the fence about to trade me the 101 for Antonio Gibson. I want to do it before the draft, but is it worth pushing for? And if so, how much more would you pay?
Yes, it's worth pushing for, and I would add at least a 23-second to Gibson to get it done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Startup draft 12-team 6-point per touchdown PPR. Start 12, 1-2 Herbert and 15-2 or 3-7. So this is a startup draft.
No, this is a terrible offer. If you're going to trade Herbert, you got to get a lot more back than that.
Yeah. Don't get 3-7, 4-6, and 10-6 for Justin Herbert if you took him too. No way.
If this were 206, 406, and the 1006 without the 1502, then maybe that's like a better offer. But 307 is, if that's the best pick you're getting back, forget it.
So 206, yeah, that would be
a lot
first time
better.
Where it's interesting because that's like AJ Brown, maybe.
Yeah, that would be a lot better. You're at least getting a stud level player, and then the 406 is also going to be a good player, and then you're getting another pick later. That's at least better.
Yeah, 307 is like Debo, maybe.
Yeah, it's not as good. 307, I think, yeah, it could be Debo. This is not a serious question.
What is it? We have to answer it. What's his value, Tyler? What's the 14-team league rookie pick? Which one would you give?
8-12.
Oh, let's see. Louis G. 10-team, 1QB.
Question: you need to sign up for the Patreon immediately because we'll correct you. We'll fix that problem.
Is it a league that only scores in week 1?
Well, then I'd consider going up to the 5-12. 5-14, I guess it's 14.
Don't do 201. 10-team, 1QB, full PPR, Dynasty, Swift, 4. DJ. Is that DJ Moore?
Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore.
Okay. And 109, I have Monty, Chubb, Gibson. He's quoting running backs there, so I'm gonna say
I get it. I get it. Really, from Swift to around there, similar value, but it's just not enough. I'll keep Swift. I get it though.
Yeah, I think
Swift.
You'd which pick makes it interesting? If it's 104,
if it's 104, I'd definitely take it.
Okay. Let's see. Mixon has had a lot of subjective hate coming out of college too from some people, off the field stuff, obviously, and had Gio Bernard sniping passes. That's true.
Yeah.
10-team Superflex, thinking of sending. He was also considered like not a good enough athlete or something. I remember that being part of his. The people didn't like his profile on that.
True.
10-team Superflex thinking of sending an offer of CD Lamb for Deontay Johnson, 107, and 2023 first. Am I overvaluing CD or is that fair?
Way overvaluing. Yeah, way overvaluing. Yeah.
Leave off the 2023 first and it's good.
Yeah, then it's more fair.
J-Mo is getting some buzz that he'll be the first wide receiver drafted. Does he move up in your rankings? If so, what do you
Probably
think?
Not. And I've learned my lesson with this. I've learned my lesson with Henry Ruggs.
I was going to say Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, so no. And also, if you drafted Hollywood Brown over A.J. Brown or DK Metcalf, you're also not happy.
I also think it would be a mistake. I don't think Jameson Williams is...
I think there's a good chance he is going to be the first wide receiver drafted, but he's not going to be my first wide receiver drafted.
Yeah. Such an interesting profile for him.
Very
the way his college career started and then what he did in his last season.
And essentially nothing else at all.
Yeah.
It is weird. You're right about that.
What would you do with Dalton Schultz? Franchise tag. Probably eats a lot of targets from Amari leaving. There are no vacation targets, Donald. But he doesn't need them. He had a lot of great targets last year. Could see Dallas drafting a tight end and eroding his value. I don't see that.
I don't see that either. I mean, there's only one relevant tight end in this entire class. So unless they're going to get exactly Trey McBride, then I don't care if Dallas drafts a tight end.
Recovering really truther, possibly dropping Trask. What about Kellen Moore? Noticing him on a bunch of taxes. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Way better than Kellen Moore. Fantasy-wise. Probably don't want offensive coordinator.
I think Kellen Moore is a better player than Kellen Mond will ever be. But
I mean,
yeah, Kellen Mond, as Mike Zimmer would say, I think I've seen enough of Kellen Mond. I see him.
Sorry.
I don't need to see more. He sucks. He is not going to be relevant. And honestly, like, I'm looking at my Superflex rankings, and I have Kellen Mond ranked at like the value between the 407 and the 408, and I don't even think he's worth that.
What's Jacob Harris or 405?
Oh, 405. I'd rather have Mond than either of these two players.
Larry Roundtree, are you hanging on to Larry Roundtree?
No, Larry Roundtree he's better than Joshua Kelly, but he's still bad. Joshua Fumble. Remember Joshua Fumble?
I do.
Yeah, Joshua Fumble.
Do you remember looking at the athletic abilities of Larry Roundtree?
Larry Roundtree actually opened the season with more opportunity than the other players. He actually was the backup. So I was right.
Ryan Tannehill, 2023 first, and what to get Russell Wilson? That's a lot.
I mean, honestly, like, not much. I mean, Ryan Tannehill and 23 first should get you almost to Russell Wilson. It's certainly not going to take another first, maybe a second, but not much. 23 first are worth a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like, so Russell Wilson right now he's going off as the QB. Oh, is the QB 9? Is he going that high already?
I mean, Russell Wilson is not worth 3 firsts. He's
probably
worth a little bit more than 2. So yeah, probably another second makes it fair. Tannehill's probably worth around a 23 first on his own, maybe a little bit less.
They're the same age.
Yeah, but one of these two is guaranteed 4 or 5 years of a job, and the other one is guaranteed this year.
Detroit drafting a running back would be smart from a football perspective, says FF Lefty. The league has transitioned to be full-blown running back by committee as a practice to manage the workload. So maybe, but I also think like they probably need help elsewhere for now. And
I just feel like also it's not like the Ravens where Dobbins and Gus are still injured. Like Swift and Jamal Williams are perfectly healthy right now. And they have that Craig Reynolds who emerged later in the season. And I actually think he was pretty good. Like he would be good as an RB3. I really do not think running back is a need for them. The only reason I bring it up is because it is constantly coming up that they're considering it. But I do think it would be a mistake. Look, if they spend a 5th or a 6th round pick on a running back, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But if they have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, And I just think that spending anything on a running back in there would be an error.
It would not be smart. What young stud wide receiver could I get for Terry McLaurin, assuming you want to?
Very concerned about Terry McLaurin. Very concerned. I would look to get out immediately. And, if I could, let's say I could trade Terry McLaurin for Michael Pittman straight up, I would do it. I would do it immediately.
Wow.
Yeah, immediately. Terry McLaurin, who would you rather have as your quarterback for fantasy? Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan? I'd still rather have Matt Ryan. And I don't, they're going to add, Indianapolis doesn't have a first round pick, but Washington does. And they have the 11th overall pick. They've been linked to every wide receiver in the draft. And you think Carson Wentz is going to support 2 wide receivers? I don't think so. So
Terry McLaurin or Devonta Smith?
Oh, I don't really like Devonta Smith either because he has the same problem. The Eagles are going to add another wide receiver, and we think that, Jalen Hurts is going to support 2 wide receivers. No. And they have Dallas Goedert. But I'll take Devonta Smith because he's younger.
Okay, so then you're getting into like Jerry Jeudy territory there.
The problem with Terry McLaurin is he's not going to, value-wise, he's not going to survive it. He's going to be 27 this year. So by the time he gets a new quarterback, he's going to be almost 28. Like, it's too late. It's too late at that point to revive his dynasty value. So, I'd rather go with someone else. It's just kind of the ship sailed on him, unfortunately.
Could you get Elijah Moore?
Oh, no way. No way. Even knowing that the Jets are going to draft a wide receiver, I'd rather have Elijah Moore.
He's got a higher ADP.
Yeah, even if the Jets draft a wide receiver at 10 and Washington doesn't draft one at all, I'd still prefer Elijah Moore.
104?
There's no way. You can try, but there's no way.
Man. All right. Isn't CEH over Sanders fairly consensus? Just drafted Sanders at the 10-5 PPR.
Nobody likes either of those 2 players. it is consensus, but
it is.
I hate them both.
So RB27 for Clyde and RB29 for Miles.
So not great.
So, pretty much right there.
Yeah, the Chiefs are in play to draft another running back. They absolutely could draft another running back. There's nothing stopping them. They have picks at 50 and 62.
I don't think there's a very good LSU running back though, so they're probably not. That's usually what they like.
They could take Kenneth Walker at 50.
Henry Muto, I was offered CEH 210, 310, and 2023 second for Devonta Smith. I passed. Is that the right call or the wrong call?
It's the right call, but if this is a super flex, Devonta Smith really isn't worth more than that. So I guess it's the right call, but I might put Devonta Smith on the block and just try to get an offer where CEH is not a part of it. Like if you could replace CEH, let's say you could take CEH out of this offer and replace him with, I don't know, who's in that range? Darnell Mooney, then I would do it. But there's no way you can get that. You can't get Darnell Mooney and all of that for Devonta Smith anymore. But I would if I could.
We're so far behind on questions. We're almost certainly going to get some overtime here. So I'm going to try and go through some of these. But 101 for Akers plus what?
That depends on the format. But Breece Hall and Akers will be pretty far apart.
I just pulled up the trade analyzer on dynastyleaguefootball.com and the suggested player additions. It says Zamir White.
Oh, ha.
Or Ramondre. You feel like you need more?
I need more.
Zeke at 905, 0 RB all the way.
That's around where I have Zeke in my rankings in a super flex.
Henry wants to know about the haul to the Bucks. Addison dropped him to 109 in Superflex in that case.
I was asked in my Patreon if Addison was being serious or trolling. What do you think I said?
I think it'd be pretty serious.
He's wrong.
He's trying to project what happened with ADP. I agree with you. I think that's too far.
He's still going to be 101 in the ADP. Trust me. I would know.
If you ever have Miles Sanders on your fantasy team, you know how bad he is. The Miles Sanders experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call him Walmart, open 24 hours, or Waffle House on this show. Might be even better. Waffle House. There we go. We figured it out. Miles Sanders and CEH were late first-round startup picks in 2020 in 1 QB leagues. Both were so promising, and I own both at the same time. Not sure what to do with them yet.
Get rid of them.
For whatever you can get, or is it more just like you've got to be able to
whatever you can get?
Okay. Yeah, I think Ridley Truther's right here. Missed the selling window by a lot, unfortunately. But the thing is, the value is not coming back.
Yeah,
would you give away Devonta Smith and 108 for Trevor Lawrence in a Superflex league?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll take Trevor Lawrence there.
I hope the Dynasty Refinery videos come back. Those videos, I know I loved them. It'll come back at some point.
Yeah.
I can't make any promises on when, but
no promises.
Yes. Well, no promises on when, but it'll come back.
So I had an idea to host the series like that on my own channel, and then I have had no gas in the tank, so I just haven't been able to do it.
Aaron wants to know if Brandon Ayuk is a buy.
Yes, I would say yes.
I think he's a sell.
Okay, so we don't agree.
I don't think they trade Debo.
Oh, I think they do.
I also think if they do, his value is going to be good enough to sell him, and I'll take that.
Right, so that's why I want to buy him now. I like him anyway. So then if I can sell him, it just gets out of control.
Sorry, Josh. JB Cho knows says, "What's up, friends? Y'all rock. You rock."
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
He's going to be on my draft stream.
Gavin wants to know if the Tony rumors scare you.
They do, actually, a lot. They do. I dropped him significantly in my rankings. Not because he's going to be traded, but because it's just now a pattern of behavior. It's a pattern of behavior. Remember last summer, he didn't show up to the camp, and then there was a whole thing. He wasn't ready. He didn't want to practice. Now he didn't even get the playbook until recently. And it feels like they had to force him. They had to threaten to trade him to force him to come in to work. And it's one thing if you have a couple 1,000-yard seasons on your resume, if you're a Pro Bowler or something, but he's not a Pro Bowler. He hasn't done anything. He's had 2 good games. So yeah, I just, you ever have that feeling in fantasy where you can't prove it? I can't prove it. I can't prove it. But now I just know that this is not going to go well. Something's going to go wrong here. This is just not going to work out. So I've just kind of turned on Kadarius Toney. And I've just decided that I'm going to be out. I'm going to be out. He just seems immature. And, I don't think that's going to lend to success in the NFL, personally. So I'll have to pass on him.
So you don't like Toney. We know you don't like Saquon Barkley.
I do not.
Who is going to be the most productive New York Giant this year?
They're all going to suck.
All of them with Brian Dable?
You know what? I don't care how good of a coordinator you are, you cannot turn shit into gold. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You don't have magical powers. You can't make Daniel Jones good. You can't make Saquon Barkley into the running back he was. You can't take away Toney's immaturity and some of the issues that he doesn't want to read the playbook. Why didn't he had all offseason to read the playbook. That might have been a good thing to do, right? As a second-year player coming into a new system, you're proving yourself. This is your opportunity to prove yourself. He doesn't want to do that. And then, Kenny Golladay always injured. I mean, you can't make him healthy, right? So I don't care how good Brian Dable is. He was my first choice for head coach. I really liked him as the new head coach. But unfortunately, these people that he's inheriting are not the players that he would have wanted. So, they all suck. So there's only so much you can do.
So buy Sterling Shepard, maybe.
Well, I mean, you want to buy him off an Achilles tear? He's all yours.
Oh, geez, that's right. I
Like,
forgot he tore his Achilles.
It was actually, now I will say, Sterling Shepard actually looked pretty good down the stretch until the Achilles tear. So no, the Giants are a disaster. Man. The Giants are a disaster, and this year is going to be a lot like the Lions 2021 season. It's going to be a disaster. Everyone's going to suck. You're not going to be able to really do anything, and you're just going to have to wait through this year and wait for competent players to come in.
So my main point in that was, I just think when you look at the rest of their players, like, I feel like we're just not even going to remember this stuff with Kadarius Toney, because when he has the ball in his hands, he actually can do something with it.
But the problem is that if he doesn't know where on the field he's supposed to be, and he doesn't know what route he's supposed to be,
he's gonna know. He got his playbook like a week later than everybody else. He's gonna know.
But why is it coming up again?
April.
But why is it coming up again? See, that's the thing. Why is it coming up again? It came up last year. Last year, there were issues with the other coaching staff. And you could say, oh, it was the other coaching staff. But now there are more issues with this coaching staff. So maybe at some point, it's not the coaching staff. Maybe it's the player. Maybe the player needs to realize that being in the NFL is hard and it requires a lot of work. And he doesn't seem to understand that to me. He just seems like someone who's always been better, always been faster, always been more athletic. And you just have to understand that in the NFL, that might work for a game or two, but you're not going to win that way. You have to work hard. And we'll see if he's willing to do that. I would hope so, but I'm not confident.
Favorite sports movie, we talked about this a little bit. Remember the Titans is what I named.
Oh, it's one of my favorite. I mean, I do like it. It's one of my favorites. So The Blind Side is another good movie.
Sandlot is another one I love.
Yes. The Sandlot is actually one of my favorites. I do like that one. Oh, if you want like a kid's movie, Angels in the Outfield is one I watched a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
That was always being played Little League stuff.
We were talking about movies earlier. FF Lefty says Mean Girls is elite.
Yeah.
Not one I know much about. Yeah, this must have been about the point where we got the drop. Good question, Aaron. If Debo does get traded, why can't Ayuk be 49ers wide receiver 1 well on his way in 2020?
He can be. I just think that now is a good time to buy, and then if Debo gets traded, you can either hold or sell depending on what you believe.
Can be, yes.
He was. I mean, he did it in 2020. I mean, he had a great stretch as a rookie. Look, he was a first-round pick who produced as a rookie. Those players almost always have successful NFL careers. They almost always do. It's rare that a player who produces what he produced as a rookie, as a first-round pick, fails. So, now his year 2 was disappointing, but down the stretch, once he was out of the doghouse for whatever reason, he was very fantasy viable down the stretch of the season. It's not like he was bad.
By Jawan Jennings, maybe, I don't know. No.
I would seriously suggest adding Jawan Jennings to the back of your roster. And I think I read this last week, but if you prorate Brandon Ayuk's stats from when he got out of the doghouse, his stats over a full 17-game season equate to 73 receptions for 1,128 yards and 6 touchdowns. So, and that was with Debo. From when he got out of the doghouse, that was his 17-game pace. So I don't think it's really just how much you count the first 6 games against him. And I'm on the side of not counting it against him that much because I'm always going to favor what happened more recently. And more recently, it's much better that the first 6 games were the bad ones for me and the last 11 were good. I would not like it as much if it were in reverse.
12-team league. I got some on the trade finder for Brandon Ayuk or Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, that's too expensive.
Brandon Ayuk and 109 for Deontay Johnson, 207 and 212.
Deontay Johnson.
Brandon Ayuk in the 109 for Kyle Pitts.
That's a ridiculous offer.
This is what I'm saying. He's a sell. You have to get rid of him.
Ridiculous. His ADP is not.
These are real trades from the last 2 days that I just read.
Well, then people are dumb.
Yeah,
if that's what he's a sell, but I don't. That's more than he was worth last year. I don't understand how those trades are happening. They shouldn't be. And I don't think they are in the majority of leagues.
I mean, those are real trades. So
I understand that, but I could, I could make a league and make some real trades and they'd show up in the trade finder.
Yeah.
But like, I like those might be real trades, but I don't care. Like, that's not his value. And that's not his value from what I've seen.
Elijah Mitchell for Gabriel Davis and a 2022 204.
Mitchell. It's not
Definitely
enough for Mitchell.
What's the best landing spot for Drake London?
Well, if I could just have carte blanche and put him anywhere. Unfortunately, all the landing spots are bad.
Green Bay.
Green
right?
Bay. Yeah, Green Bay. But he's not going to make it to 22. That's the problem.
Yeah. Probably not.
No, the best thing is if Kansas City trades up with Houston at 13, which I saw in an article today, but it was for Jameson Williams. But if they do that trade up for Drake London instead, that would be the best landing spot. Because if you really think about it, right? Let's think about it for a second, right? Drake London is a big receiver, right? He's very big.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think in the NFL, what is he probably going to play? I mean, the roles are always kind of shifting. But on the Chiefs, you have a slot receiver and you have a kind of downfield threat, a Z receiver, really, Marquez Valdez. So you need that big alpha receiver, and Drake London could deliver that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, KJ Hamler, is he a stash for future years?
No, he's irrelevant. He doesn't deserve a spot on your dynasty roster. He's a failure.
All the breaking news. Does this help J.K. Dobbins?
I mean, remember what I said, that if Zamir White, for example, would scare me a lot more than Melvin Gordon. So if this is that they're not going to sign Melvin Gordon and instead they're going to draft Zamir White in the 3rd round, that's even worse. So not necessarily.
Okay, so it's a 1-year deal according to Ian Rappaport for Melvin Gordon, up to $5 million.
Yeah.
PTR is right. FYI, DLF having 6.2. So that's way too low. If you're watching this, you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Share the channel with a friend. Let them know.
Yeah.
Addison works way too hard.
Addison does work way too hard. And also, if you want to do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. I'll put it in the chat.
There you go. Wessel.
I'm even more criminally underfollowed with only 550 something subscribers. So please, I would love it. Thank you.
1 QB, 12 team, half PPR league. Where would you draft Alberto in rookie draft? So he's a free agent right now.
Yeah.
Where would you take him?
Free agent. I will take him around the 301. So probably a lot lower than you thought.
Ooh, yeah, way lower.
Yeah, I'm just not that interested in Alberto. I don't see
it.
Really? Yeah, really.
Are you the only person in?
I was the biggest Alberto truther, but now people just assumed he's great when he's done nothing.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
Yeah. He's just not that good. I mean, he hasn't done anything.
Dawson, Knox, or Alberto?
Knox. Knox has actually been good in the NFL. Alberto has better draft capital. Alberto has done nothing. You say, but like Alberto's literally done nothing. Nothing at all.
He's 23. He's about to be 24. He's had Drew Lock and Noah Fant in front of him.
Right, but how old is Dawson Knox? 24.
Dawson Knox is 25, going to be 26.
Okay, but Dawson Knox has superior draft capital, has actually produced fantasy relevant numbers where Alberto has done nothing. So I don't get it.
Alberto or Irv Smith?
Oh, I'll take Alberto there because Irv Smith has also done nothing in 3 years, in more years, 3 years of nothing. So I'll take Alberto.
Breaking news while live is fun. It definitely was fun. Love that. Kellen Carp, the homies. What's up, Adam? Appreciate seeing you. No doubt. Let's see.
I love you.
Halter Bills won't be better than Williams in Denver. I agree.
I laid out the case for why it was. If it happens in the first round, I think it's very clear that Hall is better. But I also think that Hall is a better prospect than Javonte was. So I don't know if that puts me in the minority or the majority.
So this is similar. Would you trade 1-1 for Javonte and 1-5, but you get that 1-5 back?
Javonte side easily. Yes.
I would take Javonte over Hall anyway.
But either way, this is an easy answer.
Acquired Gordon for a late second in January, hoping for a different team. Now a very expensive handcuff.
Yeah, probably wouldn't pay any second for Gordon.
Trent Richardson. This is the one I was thinking of too.
You an RB1 season as a rookie. People forget that.
Right, but it didn't feel like it at the time. It didn't.
It was bad. He was bad for real life, but he did give you an RB1 season as a rookie.
Yeah. Okay. What are the best landing spots for rookie wide receivers? It's Green Bay and Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then a pretty big drop off, I think, after that.
There are some landing spots that are not awful. I mean, New Orleans is fine. I don't think New Orleans is a terrible landing spot. The Chargers are good. Even if it might
Drake
be a little...
London with the Chargers would actually, I feel like that would work itself out. Maybe not as much short term, but man, that could be fun.
Houston is not the worst landing spot ever. I'd rather Houston over Philadelphia or Washington. And then I don't know. Minnesota's not a terrible landing spot. I've seen some mocks giving them a wide receiver at 12.
Yeah, Trent Richard. Yeah, he's kind of the go-to.
I mean, he still was an RB1 as a rookie.
Not in the drops. Big failure energy. My gosh. Are you playing Drops of Jupiter by Train? No. I did, for whatever reason, introduce my kids to Weezer today. For anybody
really?
that's older. Yeah. No drops. I cannot believe it didn't work. Addison's going to be so mad at me, y'all.
Anyway, so here are the first round running backs. I mean, they're not as much of a lock recently, but Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, Clyde, Josh Jacobs, Saquon, Rashad Penny, Sony Michel. So actually recently, they haven't been so great. But if you go and there was a long period of time where it was Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon. I mean, that was the, that was the crew over a few years, and all of them hit.
I appreciate it. FF Lefty says my value is too insulated. Not worry about the drop failure. Yeah, I'm. Me and Deontay Johnson, we can get by with some drops.
Yeah,
Rashad White. I guess maybe I don't have drops.
Yeah, well, Rashad White's going to be picked on day 3, so nah. I mean, I don't know. I was listening to Locked On Dynasty today with Ryan McDowell and Matt Williamson, and they didn't even, I don't know where they rank Rashad White, but it was not good. They were not a fan.
12 team 1 QB. Would you trade Judy for the 102? Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
The 102.
Very easily. Acres value in terms of 2022 picks. 103 or Acres, Tyler?
Let's see. I'll take Acres.
Well, I think that's it. Because would you take 102 or Acres?
102.
Yeah, that's it. I believe Joe Mixon had a less severe Liz Frank. He seems fine, but Liz Frank appears more severe. I'll have to go look at that. I don't remember that being Joe Mixon, but yeah, year 1 always bad. 2 years for any chance to return to form. I always remember the Mikel Shore it was one of the Detroit Lion running backs that I loved that got it.
Mikel Shore.
Yeah, he was done. CMC plus Barkley or Javonte plus Tony, 209, 1 QB, PPR.
Oh, I hate it, but it's CMC and Barkley. No values on that side.
Happy Waffle Wednesday, says Blake. What's up, Blake? As a Javonte person who rosters him, do you just sit tight with the MG3 news? 29 years old, 70. That's the thing is people don't realize he's 29. Look, fine. He can do okay. Look, I'm not saying that he's not going to do anything, but this is Dynasty, right? We're not drafting and redraft. We're not drafting just what he can do for us this year. It's a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but with running backs, you never want to look that far ahead. So I get it, but Yeah, you sit tight now. I mean, now he's a strong hold or a buy. He's not a sell. You're not going to be able to sell him.
Rondale Moore, Michael Gallup, and 103 for T. Higgins and a 2023 first. What do you think?
I'll take Higgins in the first easily. This is not a close trade.
Yeah, 103 is not worth this much.
No.
103 or T. Higgins?
Higgins.
Yeah. Would you send Zeke plus Pollard plus Juju for the 102 and 202 and Hunter Henry in a 1 QB league? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, just give me the 102 and give me the one player I really want over the 3 players I don't really want.
Pickens or Sky Moore?
Pickens for now. But they're in a similar tier, so after the draft that could change. But Pickens for now.
I'm going to pull up the DLF consensus. Pickens over Sky Moore looks like for almost everybody. Let me see if I got anybody with him with Sky Moore over. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Ryan McDowell has Sky Moore over George Pickens.
Interesting.
Montgomery and Darren Waller for Kyle Pitts. Listen, Rob. This is a huge win. Like, I've got the perfect drop for this, and I can't play it. But this is a gigantic win.
Big failure for not having the drops ready.
Sold Watkins for a 201 after I picked him up for 0 fab 2 days before he signed with the Packers.
That person needs to sign up for my Patreon. So send them my way.
PJ says Terry way over Pittman.
Nope. I don't know why. Really?
Terry's been more successful. You usually like that.
But he's older. And Pittman has only had 2 years in the league and looked like he was breaking out. So Terry hasn't really improved.
Amonra, Bateman, Carter, 104, 112, 4, Dobbins, Knox, DJ Moore, 108.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
Dobbins, DJ Moore, in the 108.
Yeah, I agree. I'll take that side.
Yeah. Who the failure would give up 201 for Watkins?
I don't know, man.
So it was Swift for Deontay and 108.
Swift.
So yeah, he said DJ. So I appreciate you clearing that up. Jameson Williams at 105.
Yeah, it's a reach.
It's not smart. Is it a reach?
Yeah, it's a reach. It's not smart. It's a reach.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Cal, I can definitely hear your voice echo. Okay.
Yeah, we will.
We
did.
We tried figuring this out, but
it sounded good before we started. Again.
I know it's football, but Ja Morant is clutch.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
I'm a Pelicans fan who loves the team, but yeah, Ja Morant or Zion looks a little silly right now. Tyrion Davis-Price to the Chiefs.
No.
Where would he be? Where would his ADP be?
Too high.
Juju in a third for McLaurin.
I'll still take McLaurin.
It's definitely McLaurin.
Yeah, I don't want Juju.
Looking to compete in 2024, I have JT. Do you think I should trade him for a future first, or if he'll still be a top 5 back in 24 through 26?
I don't know. If you can trade him and you get a great deal, go for it. But otherwise, you can hold him.
Brendan, try to compete sooner.
Yeah, don't sell low.
Don't give the next 2 seasons up. It can't be that bad.
Well, yes, it can.
I mean, maybe, but like those people are closer than they think. I think.
Yeah, and with JT, you're not that. How far could he be?
Maybe. Galladay plus Saquon plus Tony for Derrick Henry.
I'll take the Saquon side, I guess.
Waller's not getting dealt to Green Bay.
This is bullshit. It's not happening.
Green Bay does not invest in skill position players this way. They just don't do it.
This has been shot down so many times. It's not happening.
The program. I remember liking this when I was like in college.
Never heard of it.
I'm afraid this is one that would not hold up well. I can't remember.
Yeah, also when you were in college was probably may have been before I was born.
It was forever ago. Speaking in terms of teams taking meetings, Bills have met with like 8 tight ends. Should we be selling? I don't want to go off of meetings for.
What are they going to add that's more scary than OJ Howard? I mean, unless they exactly get Trey McBride, which I doubt. So, not really.
Does Houston stick with Mills or draft a QB? We talked about this.
Stick with Mills.
What made you decide to get into fantasy football content?
I mean, I could see Houston drafting like Carson Strong or Bailey Zappi to like get someone else in there, but I don't think Houston's going to spend 3, 13, or 37 on a quarterback.
Why do you produce FF content, Tyler?
Because one day I decided that I wanted to, and I just felt like it, and I applied. Seriously, that's the actual answer. I could give a much more politically correct, like bullshit answer, but no, that's not why. I literally was just one day. Oh, I feel like I want to create fantasy football content now, and that was 3 years ago, and here we are. So, never underestimate like what you do on a whim, because you never know what it'll turn out to be.
Because my friends weren't fun to talk to about fantasy football. They didn't know a whole lot. And I wanted to talk to people who did.
That's true. But I don't really know. Honestly, like, I don't really know how I ended up here or how I ended up with the following that I have. It just kind of happened over time. But I don't think I ever envisioned anything like that when I decided to get into it, really. I definitely thought that my path was going to be as like someone who got paid to write articles, as like an article writer, as like a job. And I still do that, but that's definitely not what I'm known for anymore. I never hear about my articles. I'm mostly known for this show and Twitter.
What do you think about
Keontae
Ingram?
We never answered that last one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who to hold? Who to trade? DK, Higgins, Devonta Smith, Terry McLaurin.
So just based on the values right now, I would hold DK, Higgins, and Claypool and get rid of Smith, McLaurin, and Juju.
How about Keontae Ingram?
What do you think? Let's see where he goes. I like him, but I don't. Let's see. On day 3, you have to have the path. You have to have the path to opportunity. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
Could he be the pass catcher on a good team? Maybe. Could he?
Depends on if he goes to somewhere that has a spot for that.
Miles Sanders in a 10 team, half PPR, super flex. Miles Sanders for the 2022, 204 and 207.
I'll take the 204 and the 207. Seriously, I really will.
Wow. I guess in a 10 team league, it's a little better.
A little better, yeah. It's 202 and 205. I'll take the 204 and the 207.
Draft day.
I've never seen it.
Me neither. That's so funny. I feel like everybody talks about it and love it. I've never seen it.
Sounds like a crappy movie that I'm not going to watch. So I'll pass on that one.
Like nobody has ever sold me on it as being so great.
I think people should just watch me instead. People should just watch this show. And that sounds more entertaining than draft day. I think you could spend the hour and 50 minutes or however long draft day is watching this show and you'll be a lot happier.
With that, we are close to draft day. I am so excited, Tyler. We are getting there. I just want to know if there's anything else that you want to say about the draft before we get started or anything else to the people.
No, there's nothing else I really want to say about the draft. I mean, the biggest thing is just follow me on Twitter right there. I will probably tweet during my live stream. So you can follow my live stream, follow me on Twitter to see my reactions to the draft. And other than that, just, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out my Patreon, check out my articles at DLF. keep making comments and liking the show. Hit the bell, subscribe to the YouTube channel here at DLF. And yeah, just keep supporting everything. You've all been great and super supportive over the past almost 10 months-ish, more than 10 months that we've been doing this show. So yeah, just appreciate that.
Are you going to tip picks on your channel? Yes. As soon as Twitter knows, you're gonna talk about it.
Yep. We already had the production meeting about that.
Interesting.
And I decided that I would. I did it last year.
All right. You guys are great. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the like button. Look, Addison loves it when you guys hit the like button. Make sure that you do that. He gets happy, he smiles. And if you want more of Addison, make sure you check out his solo videos, but also he is going to be with me on Thursday. We are going to have the Mannequin Chill crew later on in the day. We're going to have Peter. We're going to have Russ. We're going to have Ryan and his crew to start everything off with us on Thursday. Look for more marketing on that, and it's going to be a whole lot of me. Look, if you like the Dynasty Refinery episode with me and Addison, they're going to have a lot of that on Thursday as well. Check out Tyler. Pull up both screens. Look, we're not competing. There's lots of eyeballs. Let's make sure.
I do.
You guys.
It feels like a competition. If I can get 10% of the audience, I feel like a winner.
You guys are great. We will see you Thursday on both